Welcome to DIY Easy Crafts. Today we're going to take a look at how to easily make a carved face birdhouse. Now basically I just started with one piece of 1x6, 8 feet long. And this is the cut list. I used a chop saw and I just cut one piece 5.5 by 6.25 for the bottom, two pieces 5.5 by 8 3/4 for the top, two pieces 5.5 by 5.25 for the sides, one piece 5.5 by 8 for the back, and one piece 5.5 by 14 inches for the front face. Now the back and the front, you have to cut 45s on one side to create the angles for the roof. So it's pretty simple. This video is not really going to pay a lot of detail into building the actual box. I don't really care how you build the box. You could have the floor mounted to the bottom or inside, and you could use a nail gun or finishing nails. I put mine together with wood glue and screws, which I had laying around. What I really wanted to point out is that I made the front face removable. I just screwed on a piece of 1x2 onto both of the sides, and I used finishing nails and wood glue to attach one to the front face. That's how it's going to slide together, and then I'm going to have one screw on the bottom that's going to hold that in place. That's kind of important because every time I've ever done a birdhouse video, people always say that you really have to have the ability to clean out that birdhouse every once in a while. And then also having that front face removable makes it a lot easier to screw this thing onto a tree. The next step is just using a marker or a pencil to draw out the basic face. I'm not an artist, just bear with me. This is actually my first attempt at doing one of these carved face birdhouses, and I wanted to make it as easy as possible. The majority of the videos that I've seen use a Dremel tool as their main tool. I'm not. Before I go into that, I used a speed board, 1.5-inch speed board, to drill the hole that's going to allow the birds into the birdhouse. And this is going to be the main tool. It's a 4.5-inch angle grinder or disc grinder. I'm using a flap sanding wheel. It's a very coarse one. This one's a 36 grit. And after I drew the face, I'm just going to lower the level of all of the surrounding material. This disc grinder will remove a lot of material very quickly, so I'm just going very slow with it. Like I said, this is my first time. The next time I do it, I'll definitely do things a little bit different, a little bit faster. But I was pretty pleased with the way that this one came out. So I'm just very carefully removing material, making that mustache and the nose protrude from the wood. And then once I've got that done, I'm going to use the side of that disc grinder just to put some grooves in for the beard. Add some texture to the beard. This thing removes material a whole lot faster than a Dremel. So I'm rounding the sides right into the box. I've mounted it onto the front of the face, or I'm holding it in place onto the front, and I'm just rounding over the sides of the face right into the box itself. I used a 3/8 drill just to give the illusion of eyeballs. Drilled 2 holes partially through. I used an orbital sander to smooth over some of the face and the forehead. My goal here was to have a lot of texture on the eyebrows and the mustache and the beard, and to have fairly smooth surface on the forehead and on the face itself. Now here I did use a Dremel grinder with a cutoff wheel, but I'm not spending a lot of time with this. This is very, very simple. And I'm just using this to make the hairlines on the mustache. And I also put some on the beard and also on the eyebrows. And already you can see that this face is starting to come together and really look pretty decent. Doing the eyebrows. So in the future when I do this, I'll try to make everything that stands out of the wood a little bit more pronounced. So I'll make the nose a little higher and the mustache a little higher. I use the torch just to darken the mustache and the eyebrows. And then any of the burn that's on the face, I can just go back and resand that. So I can get the tones, I can make it light again very easily. Now my original plan was going to be to stain the entire face with one color stain, and the darkness from burning the mustache and the beard would distinguish it. It's not what I ended up doing. For the roof, I tacked the roof together with wood glue and some finishing nails, and then for the shingles, I just kind of cut a groove, a horizontal groove or two on each side, and tapered them down so that it looked like overhanging shingles. And then I put some vertical lines, and I also notched the entire bottom as well as the front corner of the roof, just to kind of give it a rustic look. So this is basically the finished product, except for the stain. This is how the face is going to be removed. So I'll be able to screw that box onto the tree very easily. You have to line up that 1x2 kind of in the perfect position to get it to fit in there. It's kind of snug, but once you get it in the right spot, it slides right into place. And there's one hole on the bottom that I'll use a screw that'll attach and secure that into place. So I ended up staining the mustache and the eyebrows with a walnut stain. I definitely wanted the roof to be darker. I'm not so sure if it was the right decision with the mustache and the eyebrows. I'm kind of thinking that one color on the entire face, this lighter color stain, would have been better. You would have seen a little bit more of the detail, and I think the darkness or the contrast from burning the mustache and the eyebrows would have been sufficient. And yeah, I would probably do that different in the future. But having said that, I am still pretty pleased with the way this came out, and I've already got it hung up in my tree, ready for the springtime. I did also let this dry completely, and I gave it 3 coats of a spray shellac. I left the entire inside of the box natural, so that the stains and the smell wouldn't bother the birds at all. Now I also put a couple of drain holes on the bottom of the box, 3/8, and I used a couple of smaller holes in the back of the box so that I started wood screws, just so that it would be very easy to hold this in place and screw it into the tree. That's the finished product, a very simple do-it-yourself carved face birdhouse. You can certainly use your own artistic ability to make it even better. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I ask that you please give it a thumbs up and take a minute to leave a comment in the comment section. I'd also like to invite you to check out the website, DIYEasyCrafts.com. I've got a whole bunch of other do-it-yourself projects, each one with its own how-to video. Thank you very much for watching.